Yeah, he plays that shot generally well. Missed it on this occasion. Right, here is the Zik Motor Oil Challenger. Who picks up the tank first? Beat him with seconds to spare. Chance to win $100 and the Zik Motor Oil.
The challenge here for Umar Akmal is that he likes to pull the ball, but it's very difficult shot against Irfan.
Chance at the striker's end. Yeah, he played well in the first game, got 75. Started off with an aggressive fashion. Had the subtlety as well. Yeah, very good down the ground. A 360-degree player when he's on form. It was a very good innings, very good start to HBL PSL for Umar. That's into the gap and 4. That'll hurt Irfan quite badly. After bowling a couple of good balls, he's gone away for 4, and so pressure is released, and pressure is once again on Multan Sultans.
Russo, after Watson's dismissal, has taken the mantle. A couple of pretty crisp boundaries. Short ball. It's a quick outfield, small ground, the pull shot in the gap. And Russo gets the boundary. This hurts Multan.
Edge and gone for 4 again. Yeah, I think he saw mid-off up in the circle, so wanted to get through that angle. Over the infield, sliced it into the fence, over the third man range.
Just making sure there's no pressure built. The intent to smash it down the ground big, outside edge, and it does carry when Mohammad Irfan is bowling. But back-to-back boundaries.
Yorker, I think, is the ball to bowl. Fuller length. Yeah, I think you better serve pitching them up rather than hitting the length on this dead pitch. 112 for 2. $112 for the loss of 2. This is looking pretty straightforward as far as Quetta Gladiators are concerned, and you've got to hand it to them. They've always been a low-key team, but they perform and are big match players. Afridi needs to do something extraordinary. Wider, creating a wider angle and getting the ball back into that middle and leg stump range and trying to spin it across from that angle.
Yeah, everything quite under control. 48 now of 40. Riley Russo looking in supreme form. But Quetta do chase targets down really well. And today again we saw when they were the bowling after the power play, they got the spinners on and they squeezed the opposition. So everything really basically to their blueprint.
Yes! Well done, well done!
Riley Russo has played spin well as well. Head and shoulders, move for the million. Is that good enough move for you, Basit? Will you give him $1 million for this?
Catch!
Catch is the call, and dropped. Grasped. Afridi needed this. Yeah, running catch. Looking at the fence, probably looking at the ball. And did he have the confidence really to pull it off? Rangan.
Rilee Rossouw didn't get any of it. Had quite a long way, and in this day and age, you expect these to be taken. Very close to the fence, difficult skill, but the levels have gone so high that you expect these to be taken. Afridi really disappointed, and a maximum.
Bowls another Rangan. He's got a good googly, Shahid Afridi, and he's got lovely variations as well, unlike the other leg spinners who just go absolutely flat at one trajectory. Afridi has got the guile really to flight the ball, and it picked the Rangan, but Evans grasping it. I think he's looking at the fence also. Goes big into the gap for 4. This is beautifully struck, nailing it. And so the march for a win continues for Quetta Gladiators. 1, 2, 3 for 2. Yeah, I thought he managed the extra bit of lift quite intelligently, just slicing it into the gap for a run. Watch ball by ball highlights on crickandjeff.com. Big wind and hitting the ball into the gap. So many things to like about Rilee Rossouw in this innings. His quality batting against spin, and he's been so good with Watson as a batting pair. Reading this run chase perfectly. 43 years of 30 balls. No. Yeah, nice and early call from him.
Well done.
And Sharjah is a difficult ground to defend. It's quite a small ground, quick outfield. So one batsmen are in, they get a lot of boundaries, and suddenly in a couple of overs you can score 15-20 once you get on a roll. So it's difficult to defend unless it's reverse swinging.
Just feel at this stage they need to have one more fielder in the ring, because just 4 patrolling the inner field is not really working. There's so many gaps for them really to milk a single or hit a 4. Just close out the angles. I think that's the way to go at this stage. Hit the spot with J-Dot. Not bad at all. Yeah, Yorker. That's what Multan Sultans need as well. And Mr. Noman there, the chief guest. A miscue, but the idea was right because mid-off fielder was up in the circle, so he usually hits them hard down the ground, Umar Akmal. But with Irfan, you'll always get this uneasy extra bounce for you to deal with.
And Umar Akmal does like that shot, that pull shot. And the most difficult shot probably for a right-hander against Irfan is that particular shot because of the extra bounce and the angle going across.
That's a good delivery. It becomes a double difficult ball for the batsman to seize on when Irfan bowls a fuller length, because he's 7 and the livers are pretty long as well. So you're talking about a 10 feet drop at the Yorker length. So I think he needs to practice this more and execute it more. That's good batting. Intelligent single taken by Umar Akmal. So he keeps the scoreboard ticking. Just 33 now from 30 balls. 128 for the loss of 2.
Fine.
.33 required from 30, and Quetta are going about their business well. Umar Akmal with his first boundary. Lots of time to play the shot. So 29 needed from 29. Quetta looking to make it 3 wins out of 3. Tomorrow night we've got the Zalmi, Peshawar Zalmi against Karachi Kings. And then we have 3 days of double headers here in Sharjah. Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Sir Vivian Richards there in the front with Dwayne Smith.
A wonderful character. Great to see him here as the mentor again for Quetta Gladiators. Here's Russell. And there's Rousseau. And it's all go through cover here.
Well, I think Andre Russell is a problem for the Multan Sultans with his bowling, because clearly he's not 100% bowling fit. He's bowling at pedestrian pace and the ball is coming out so badly. He's got a problem. He's had a problem with his knee. I think it's the left knee, the one that lands, and I think he's just not nearly the force that he should be as a bowler. .50 up for Riley Rousseau, the South African in the Quetta Gladiators team. He's 50 with 7 fours and a 6 from 35 balls.
Dar Rousseau, the Kolpak king, and he loves it in this part of the world. Dines out regularly. In 2020, it's so dominant. Riley Rousseau.
Nicely played. Umar Akmal, who's got a 75 not out and a 44 already in this tournament. And there we are. There's a chance for a batsman to win $100 in the Zik Motor Oil hit and win contest if he hits the ball between the Zik Motor Oil branding. Picked up, short of a length, and Riley Rousseau is enjoying Andre Russell's bowling. 143 for 2. So Quetta have really played this match well. They bowled well, and now they are pacing their reply superbly. Shane Watson again in the runs. Riley Rousseau with a half century as well. Looking strong this year, and of course they do have the Viv Richards factor in that dugout. The Sir Viv Richards factor. Strike rate of 150 for Riley Rousseau. 7 4s and a 6, and he's now added another for his 54 to 8. It's going to be Dan Christian is into the attack. He's already bowled 2 deliveries because Ali Shafiq went off with a leg injury. So Multan look like they're going down here in Sharjah, and looks like Quetta are going to win 3 out of 3.
Yeah, Riley Rousseau, wonderful addition to any franchise T20 side. Brings up his 50 again. He's just such a force. It took a while to get going. In fact, he was none from 5. Then he got that one off his hit from Mohamed Afan, and it was a boundary. And he was still slow to get going. But once he knows how to play catch-up, he can be so lethal. Well, that's easy. Lovely deft touch. There's no slip-in. There's no third man. And now a 50 partnership between these two.
Yeah, the 50 partnership bus keep on trucking. He's got his eye in well here, Rousseau. So Dan Christian, he comes fresh off the plane from Australia, from domestic duties down there. Yeah, I know. Oh, here we are. Look, time for a Tapal tea moment. I can't talk and drink at the same time.
Well, Alan.
Very nice.
I can't believe we saved you some.
Very pleasant. Try it. It's very nice. So 12 required from 20 deliveries. So 150 up. Shane Watson 61 tonight, and an 80 in the opening game that they played. 81 not out. He really is in the groove, and he's concentrating on his batting because he's not bowling these days. Slower ball. 10 required. It's 3 overs to go. 151 for 2. The state of the match. Multan Sultans put into bat by Sarfraz Ahmed. 160 for 9. Shoaib Malik with a 53. And in reply, Quetta are strolling this. Shane Watson 61. Riley Rousseau is 60 not out. And Umar Akmal is joining him. And these two have put on a partnership of 56. 56 off 35. It's a good partnership. Quetta have got a lot of batting. And of course, if Watson fires at the top of the order, it just sets the platform for others to build on that. Now, Andre Russell, 2 overs have cost him 29 runs.
Yeah, just hobbling in. Yeah, I noticed it too. Oh, it was in fact more glaring in the T10 that was here at this very venue. In early December, so not that long ago, and then he got it together a bit more in Bangladesh with their BPL. And, at the start of this, I thought, okay, he's still in a groove from there across the way, on the other side of the subcontinent in Bangla, and now he's, I don't know, maybe it's just come back again, that knee niggle and causing him issues.
Well, it's been an accomplished innings, this, from the South African Riley Rousseau. Took his time at the start, much like Shane Watson did, but once he got his eye in and once he got the measure of the pace of this pitch, a lot slice of luck, but basically hits the ball hard. I just think, Danny, looking at Andre Russell bowling, he was such a formidable, quick bowler just about a year or so ago. But he has had injury problems. And I think he's not quite up to the mark. And Riley Rousseau certainly is.
Yeah, it just underlines that graphic we showed you that you can play catch-up. And there's a lot of data on left-handers in this form of the game in the last decade that are so adept at playing catch-up. Yeah, Andre Russell, look at that, hardly any follow-through from Andre Russell. Oh yeah, he is in a bit of discomfort, definitely.
.155 for 2. 6 runs required.
Oh, just looking at Russell, he's so out of sorts. You could almost have the keeper standing up, bowling at 125. Trying to hang in here. I believe he's possibly going back to the Caribbean.
Well, it's clearly not 100%. Oh, goodness, that's come out the side of the hand. 18 gone, 155 for 2.
Yeah, just noticing here that the last right's been played out. They only need half a dozen from a dozen. But yeah, Andre Russell, he really is out of sorts with his bowling and his action.
Have to hurry here. And Dan Christian's done really well there in backing up the throw. Sahel Tanvir, Sarfraz, the skipper. And it would be in the interests of Quetta Gladiators to get these runs now in this over, because net run rate could be critical for the top 4 teams of the 6 to go through to the playoffs. And pick up a couple here. It's going to be 4. And the scores are level.
Yep, mascots are all happy, pumping around Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Rousseau was clickety-click, 66 from 44 in 0. He tries a little change up here to Dan Christian. And time to finish things off.
1 required. That's the winning blow. And Riley Rousseau steers Quetta Gladiators home here in Sharjah. He finishes 67 not out. And in 18.3 overs, Quetta Gladiators 161 for 2. They have beaten Multan Sultans by 8 wickets. And now Quetta have won 3 out of 3.
And there you have it. Quetta Gladiators continue to be undefeated in the HBL PSL 2019 Season 4. Congratulations to the Gladiators there. There you go, the chief gladiator, the legendary Viv Richards, celebrating there, the man from the Caribbean. It has been a great run for the Gladiators so far. And Multan Sultans, well, very ordinary cricket there on display from Multan Sultans. Clearly, they are going to have to think about their performance tonight once again. And we will talk about that once we come back from this break. Welcome back from the break. This is the HBL PSL 2019 Season 4, and we have just come out of the Sharjah match where Quetta Gladiators have shown that they remain undisputed. Quetta has won by a very clear margin of 8 wickets. Extraordinary performance once again by the Gladiators. And Multan Sultans, well, a huge question mark on Multan Sultan's performance. There were quite a lot of issues, I think, which our experts would like to do. First, I would like to, however, say this, that our experts had both predicted that it will be Quetta Gladiators that will be defeated today. It would be the Multan Sultans that would win the game. Both of you had agreed on that. Firstly, it was a rare occasion that both of you had agreed. And secondly, you both agreed on a wrong team today. What went down?
Well, when you predict, you have to have your captaincy hat on and you see the lineup and say what you can get out of these players. And I thought Shoaib Malik had the resources to actually challenge Quetta Gladiators. I said that. You know, this is a well-rounded side. When you talk about Quetta Gladiators, they have quality spinners, good fast bowlers, deceptive ones, and batting lineup is actually responding very well. They've been responsible. But, you know, when you talk about in the parlance of the result of this game, in my opinion, Multan Sultans were 15 runs short. And to compensate that 15 runs shortage in their total, they needed to compensate it with at least 1 wicket, and ideally of Watson. And we discussed those stats, that how difficult it is for Watson to get away against quickish bowler and some extra bounce. And who had it?
Yeah.
Irfan.
Yeah, Irfan.
So it was beyond me why he was given the new ball. Yeah. And if you give the new ball to a left-arm spinner, the thinking should have been, okay, if I'm not giving the new ball to Irfan, who bowls quick, you are supposed to spin the ball. You're not going to dart the ball into the batsman, cannon the ball into the batsman. And we all know how good Watson is against spinners. He just destroyed them.
Absolutely.
And after that power play, they didn't have the chance. And once the power play was over, then bringing Mohammad Irfan into the attack, and you saw the first over, even with the slightly you should say semi-new ball, he was getting the ball to jump. He was hurrying it on to the batsman, posing all the problems. It was beyond me why wasn't he given the new ball.
Let's take a look at the match summary here. This is how went down today, of course. Quetta Gladiators winning the toss and electing to field. Multan put into bat, 160 for 9. As Amir Sohail says, they're about 15 runs short. Of course, the captain, Malik, Shoaib Malik again with a half century in there, looking